Hello everyone. This is a quarantine tank that I had to set up. So if you remember, I got 20 cardinal tetras from a local pet shop, and they were doing pretty well for about 3 weeks until I started to slowly raise the temperature in the 40-gallon. I was trying to get some spawning activity from my corydoras, and when I did this, the ick that they must have had on them coming from the pet store showed itself. So I first noticed I had the ick when I saw a couple of fish floating at the top of the tank, and I thought that was a little bit suspicious since the parameters in the tank were very good. So then I looked at some of the fish that were swimming around and noticed the white spots all over their body. I immediately set up this quarantine tank and got a chemical X, which is this right here, that I've been treating this tank with. So between moving the fish and treating it, I did lose a lot of my cardinal tetras. As you can see, I only have 4 left, which is pretty bad out of the 20. And the platy never actually had any symptoms of the ick, but I did quarantine him because he was in the tank with all the other fish, and ick is a highly contagious parasite. So in the 40-gallon, I did raise the temperature to the mid-80s. The corydoras that are in there can handle temperatures in the 80s, so I had to raise it very slowly to make sure it wouldn't stress them. I did a lot of water changes in the 40-gallon, siphoning the sand and all the things that were in there. Now I read corydoras are pretty resistant to ick, so I have been monitoring them very closely in the 40-gallon, and they have not shown any signs of ick. So they've been in this quarantine tank now for about 2 weeks. They finished their ick treatment a couple days ago, but I plan on keeping them in here probably until the end of this week to make sure that the ick is 100% gone and that it's safe to move them back into the other tank. So I've never actually had to deal with ick before in all my years of keeping fish, which is pretty rare because ick is a very common parasite, but I personally have never had to deal with it before. But it did take down my cardinal tetras very fast, and I'm a little bit upset about that because it wasn't cheap to buy 20 of them. So along with using the ick X, I did use aquarium salt in this tank. I couldn't use it in the 40-gallon because the corydoras are sensitive to that, as well as my live plants. But in this tank, I did take the chemical route and also used salt to help treat the ick. And so far, these fish have been doing fine. They don't seem to have any more white dots on them. The platy never had any white dots on him. So I'm hoping that the parasite is gone, especially out of the 40-gallon, because it would be a little bit difficult to treat the 40-gallon with the live plants and the corydoras being in there, as well as the assassin snail. So I just wanted to share with you about what's been going on with that tank. From now on, I'm definitely going to have to quarantine fish that I get from this shop. I've never had problems with the shop before. It's the local shop. But after this, I think any fish I get from them, I'm definitely going to quarantine so I don't have to catch them and then move them into this tank. So I am going to be replacing the cardinal tetras I lost. They're going to be put into this quarantine tank and treated for ick and other things, even if I don't see symptoms. I just want to pre-treat them to prevent the parasites or fungus from getting moved into the 40-gallon with my corydoras, which, as you may know, are a rare species of corydora. I don't want to risk losing any of them. I do recommend that if you get new fish, quarantining them is a really good choice. I should have been doing that, and I didn't, and this is what happened. But I did like the product Ick X. It worked pretty well. It does stain. As you can see, there's a staining on the pipe back there. It's blue. So ick medicine does tend to stain things, and it can be harmful to live plants, which is one of the reasons I would recommend if you're treating for ick, you use a quarantine tank. So this was just a short video. I'm sorry I didn't get the post last week. I've been very, very busy with exams and stuff like that. So thanks for watching this video. Sorry it's really short and kind of probably not very interesting. Well, I'll see you guys in my next video.